While waiting for our DJI Osmo Action 4 to be back from an exchange due to hot pixel issues, we used a loan unit from our local DJI store for this video segment. Here, we set everything in auto exposure at 4K 25p video mode. At the same time, we present a quick feature of the Singapore Botanic Gardens. In land-scarce Singapore, the garden is more than a century-old parcel of land, located at the fringe of the Orchard Road shopping district in Singapore. It is the only tropical garden to be honored as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Here's a quick view of the area as we test the DJI Action 4. From this quick footage review, we felt that this camera performs very well in the automatic settings, but we locked the color temperature to 5600K as we know from experience that the green scenics will throw the auto white balance off. We are impressed at how it handles the highlights and contrast very well. We did not do any post-production correction, and the footage is coming off directly in the normal video mode, not in the D-Log settings. Prior to buying this camera, our analysis from other YouTubers' reviews is that there is a tendency for the footage to have bursts of blurring when the camera shakes too much, because the rock-steady EIS attempts to compensate for the shake. This entire video segment is shot handheld, and the resulting image is almost gimbal-like for our camera moves. We tried to maintain as steady as we could, without any sudden movements or jolts, and so far we haven't observed any sudden image blurring effect due to the electronic stabilization kicking in. For the record, we are using standard rock-steady settings. In this shot, we are testing the response of the automatic exposure. From a cloud-covered scene, transiting to the skies. Gotten some lens flares and back to the path. Bearing in mind that we did not use any neutral density filters, exposure is consistently accurate. The contrast and dynamic range is well controlled. In the harsh near-afternoon sunlight condition, we love it that every time we tilt up to the skies, the clouds are not overexposed, and we can still see the blue skies and details from the tree silhouette. There is no sudden or obvious ramping up in ISO, gain, or shutter speeds that we can tell. Responsive but yet transparent. Overall very pleased with the daytime performance of this tiny little action camera. The main reason why we bought it was for the 10-bit quality codec to match our main broadcast cameras. Now we just hope the DJI service can quickly resolve the hot pixel issues during long exposure shots, and that we can quickly get our own unit back. The next few tests that we will conduct will determine if we should add more DJI Action 4 units into our camera inventory. The next series of shots are taken at a Ramadan Bazaar, at Geylang Serai Road. Camera setting remained the same, 4K 25p, auto exposure with color temperature locked at 5600K. Lighting conditions are somewhat different from our earlier footage. This time round it's in evening settings, ambient light isn't as harsh, and there are some indoor lighting and synergies. This will reveal the shutter effects performance. We can immediately notice how some of the LED lightings are starting to flicker in our shots. Looking at the fan blades, it is obvious that the camera is actually running at quite a high shutter speed. We will explore that next time in full manual control. Perhaps there will be a slight increase in motion blurring due to the electronic stabilizations. Let's observe. So that's it for this review. Overall, we're pretty happy with the DJI Osmo Action 4 camera, except for the hot pixel problem. Let's hope DJI will quickly resolve that with a firmware update.